Well, I knew it was in bad shape, but when I saw it, yes, I was surprised. It was a combination of probably sadness, but then being sort of thrilled to be able to revisit and to have maybe some control over something that I hadn't had control over since the piece was sold.
Yeah.
And it was sold, it took me a year to make, and it sold within the first 45 minutes, and I just didn't realize what that was going to feel like.
Yeah.
I was just really open to I guess, the approach of conservation. I really knew nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that there was going to be a long journey between the time that the piece came in and was in pieces and parts on the lab table
Mm-hmm.
to the point where we would finish it. And I had to just trust that that was going to happen, that I had no idea how
Right.
that was going to happen.
That's kind of a leap of faith on your part.
Absolutely,
I mean,
it reminded me of an archaeological dig where the respect and the sort of rebuilding of what this piece was through memory and dialogue and photographs would be reconstructed.
Right.
And so that was quite amazing.
Right.
I thought it was very interesting that sort of there was a whole kind of chemical or chemistry element to the restoration process. Was really interesting. And actually fold it back to ideas that I've had in working with concepts of alchemy and and healing and restoration. So that was fine with me. Well, yes, absolutely. We were going to improve the piece. I didn't know until the end if we could really bring the piece back to the visual impact that it had when it was first made. The piece was finished, and every time that I went to the museum and I was just sort of like a fly on the wall, people were blown away. They were, I know that people said they cried, they had never seen anything like it, that it was their favorite piece they'd ever seen. And so I was just so blown away at the karma of this piece, that it had made it back to the museum in the end. And I felt really good about it. It really was like bringing something back to life that I felt like I had given up on. Yeah, the original intent on the piece was to sort of illustrate a 73-year lifetime in a moment.
Right.
Well, as an artist, it was just really interesting. It was like re-entering into the past and then resuscitating a piece through time somewhere lost, just through the neglect of the piece. So it probably ended up, kind of evening out in the end. And I think that that was part of the karma of the piece. Like, there is a point where you have to sort of let yourself go and realize that there is a process that happens without your total control, and that's part of the piece. Well, once again, it's the precision and the artistry and the patience and the painstaking process that that time is not an element. I mean, I know that everyone is on it in sort of a time and economical frame, but also that the conservators they get the job done, whatever it takes, in terms of the delicacy and the patience and the discovery and the kind of courage to say, yes, I can fix this, which I think is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Because you look at a piece that really doesn't seem like it's really ever going to come back to life, and then it walks out of the lab, and I think the audience knows the difference. So that's amazing. It felt like it was part of this long journey as an artist, and I was very honored, and also I just happened to really like the people that I was working with. They really helped. So that really made it, it just made it possible, and such a positive experience. And then the end result was so great. Right. I mean, in the end, I think that it was a total success.